Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. Today, we'll be exploring the components of supply chain management. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm excited to take you through this important topic. Over the course of this presentation, we'll cover the key elements that make up an effective supply chain. We'll look at how these components work together to ensure smooth and efficient operations. So, let's get started and dive into the world of supply chain management. Today, I want to introduce the concept of supply chain management, or SCM for short. Essentially, SCM is about the seamless integration of material, information, and financial flows across the entire supply chain. The goal here is to make everything work together smoothly, from the raw materials all the way to the final customer. We're aiming for a few key objectives. First, increasing efficiency in how everything operates. Second, reducing costs wherever possible. And third, ensuring customer satisfaction. After all, a well-managed supply chain means happier customers and a stronger business. This process covers all the key players in the chain, starting with suppliers who provide the raw materials, moving to manufacturers who turn those materials into finished products, then to distributors who get products out to the market, and finally to the customers who buy and use these products. It's also important to recognize the regulatory side of things. Compliance with laws and standards is critical, especially when it comes to traceability, being able to track products throughout the supply chain, and risk mitigation, which helps us avoid disruptions and ensure safety and quality at every step. Understanding these elements helps us see how interconnected and vital effective supply chain management is for overall business success. Let's take a look at the key components of supply chain management, or SCM. First, we have planning, which is all about forecasting demand, aligning resources, and setting strategic goals to ensure everything runs smoothly. Next is sourcing, where we identify and select suppliers, negotiate contracts, and ensure the materials or products are available when needed. Moving on to manufacturing, this involves the actual production process, transforming raw materials into finished goods efficiently and maintaining quality standards. Inventory management is crucial too. It's about balancing stock levels to avoid shortages or excess, which can tie up capital or lead to delays. Then there's logistics and distribution, which handles the movement of products from factories to warehouses and ultimately to customers. It's essential for timely delivery and cost control. Information flow ties everything together, sharing data across the supply chain to enable quick decision-making and coordination. Finally, we have compliance and risk management, ensuring that all operations adhere to legal and regulatory requirements, while also identifying and mitigating potential risks that could disrupt the supply chain. All these components are interconnected and vital for creating an efficient, resilient supply chain that supports overall business success. Let's delve into sourcing, or procurement, which is a critical part of supply chain management. First, supplier selection and evaluation are essential. We need to identify reliable suppliers and assess their capabilities, quality standards, and compliance. Contract management then ensures that agreements are clear, enforceable, and beneficial for both parties, reducing risks and fostering good relationships. Strategic sourcing goes beyond just finding the cheapest option. It involves aligning sourcing strategies with overall business goals for long-term value. Now, regulatory norms play a vital role here. We must ensure vendor compliance with standards like ISO 9001 for quality management and ISO 14001 for environmental management. Ethical sourcing laws also come into play, emphasizing responsible and sustainable practices. For example, an automobile company sourcing steel might choose suppliers who are certified and adhere to these standards, ensuring quality and ethical responsibility. Moving on to the key components of supply chain management, let's talk about planning. Demand forecasting involves both quantitative methods, like statistical models, and qualitative insights, such as market trends. Accurate forecasting helps us align supply with expected demand. Supply planning and capacity alignment ensure we have the right resources in place to meet that demand efficiently. Sales and operations planning, or S&OP, is the collaborative process that integrates these elements, aligning sales forecasts with production capacity. There's also a regulatory aspect to consider here. Our forecasts and plans should align with financial reporting standards like IFRS or GAAP, especially when it comes to demand projections. For instance, a retail company might forecast seasonal demand for winter clothing, which helps in planning inventory and production accordingly. This way, we ensure our operations are both financially compliant and responsive to market needs. Now, let's delve into inventory management, which is a critical part of supply chain operations. We typically categorize inventory into raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods. Managing these effectively ensures smooth production and timely delivery. To do this, we use various techniques like economic order quantity, or EOQ, which helps determine the optimal order size to minimize costs. Then there's just-in-time, or JIT, which aims to reduce inventory holding costs by receiving goods exactly when needed. ABC analysis is another useful method, where we classify inventory based on importance or value to prioritize management efforts. It's also important to consider regulatory standards when managing inventory. For example, inventory valuation methods like FIFO and LIFO are used according to accounting norms to accurately reflect inventory value on financial statements. As a practical example, think of an e-commerce company that's constantly optimizing warehouse stock levels to balance customer demand with storage costs efficiently. Moving on, in manufacturing or production, the core idea is transforming raw materials into finished products. This involves detailed production scheduling to keep everything running smoothly and on time. Quality control is essential here to ensure the end product meets the required standards, maintaining customer satisfaction and compliance. Regulatory considerations are also vital. Good manufacturing practices, or GMP, set the standards for quality and safety in production processes, especially in industries like pharmaceuticals. Additionally, OSHA safety standards ensure a safe working environment for everyone involved. For instance, a pharmaceutical company must rigorously follow GMP to ensure every drug produced is safe and effective. These elements, production, scheduling, quality control, and regulatory compliance, are all key components that keep the supply chain functioning effectively and responsibly. Let's take a look at the flow of information within a supply chain. First, ERP systems like SAP and Oracle play a central role here. They help integrate all business processes, ensuring that data flows smoothly across departments. Alongside that, real-time tracking technologies such as IoT devices and RFID tags enable us to monitor shipments and inventory instantly, providing up-to-the-minute updates. Then, the data collected through these channels is analyzed to gain valuable insights, which support better decision-making. Of course, all this data movement must comply with regulatory standards. Data protection laws like GDPR in Europe and the IT Act in India set strict guidelines on how data should be handled securely and ethically. For example, RFID technology isn't just about tracking. It also helps us manage shipments in real time, ensuring transparency and efficiency. Now, connecting this to logistics and distribution, transportation, whether by road, rail, air, or sea, is essential for moving goods across the globe. Warehousing and distribution centers act as critical hubs, and last-mile delivery completes the journey by reaching the end customer. All of these activities are governed by various regulatory norms. Transportation safety laws ensure the secure movement of goods, and customs regulations are vital for international trade, helping us navigate cross-border shipments smoothly. For instance, a global company managing shipments across countries must stay compliant with customs rules to avoid delays and penalties. In summary, understanding how these key components, information flow, logistics, and regulatory compliance, interact is crucial for building an efficient and resilient supply chain. Now, let's talk about compliance and risk management, which are crucial for a robust supply chain. First, We need to identify potential risks, such as supply disruptions or even fraud, so we can proactively address them before they become bigger issues. Monitoring compliance is also key, making sure that everyone in the supply chain follows the necessary rules and standards. This includes regular audits and reporting to keep everything transparent and accountable. When it comes to regulatory frameworks, there are several important ones to consider. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act, or SOX, is designed to improve corporate governance and financial transparency. Then we have ESG standards, environmental, social, and governance, which focus on sustainable and ethical practices. For example, ensuring that suppliers adhere to labor laws and environmental policies not only keeps us compliant, but also reinforces our commitment to responsible business practices. All these components are interconnected, forming a comprehensive approach to managing risks and maintaining compliance across the entire supply chain. This helps us safeguard our operations while supporting the overall integrity of our supply chain management efforts. Let's talk about the integration of SCM components. One of the key ideas here is end-to-end visibility. This means having a clear, real-time view of everything happening across the supply chain, from procurement to delivery. It helps us spot issues early and make informed decisions quickly. Next, coordination between all components is crucial. When procurement, inventory, logistics, and other parts work seamlessly together, the entire supply chain runs more smoothly and efficiently. It reduces delays and minimizes errors. Digital transformation plays a significant role in achieving this integration. By leveraging advanced technologies, we can connect different parts of the supply chain more effectively than ever before. For example, an integrated ERP system can link procurement processes directly with inventory management and logistics. This integration ensures that information flows smoothly, enabling better planning, faster response times, and overall improved efficiency across the supply chain. Now, let's take a closer look at the role of technology in supply chain management. One of the key advancements is the use of AI and machine learning. These technologies help us improve forecasting accuracy, enabling better demand planning and inventory management. This means we can anticipate customer needs more precisely and reduce waste. Another important innovation is blockchain technology. It offers enhanced transparency across the entire supply chain. For example, blockchain can be used to trace food supply chains, ensuring the origin and safety of products are verified at every step. This builds trust with consumers and helps prevent fraud. Automation also plays a significant role, especially in warehouses. Automated systems like robotics and smart logistics streamline operations, reduce human error, and improve efficiency. However, while these technologies offer many benefits, there are also challenges we need to address. Demand variability remains a constant issue. Unexpected shifts can disrupt even the best forecasts. Supply disruptions, whether due to natural disasters or geopolitical issues, can halt operations unexpectedly. Regulatory complexity varies across regions, adding layers of compliance that can be difficult to navigate. And cybersecurity risks are ever present. As we become more connected, the threat of cyber attacks increases, potentially compromising sensitive data or disrupting operations. Overall, technology is transforming supply chain management, making it more agile and transparent, but it also requires us to be vigilant and adaptable to these challenges. So, to wrap things up, let's talk about the conclusion. Supply chain management, or SCM, is really a multi-component integrated system. It's not just one thing. It involves various parts working together to create a seamless process. Ensuring regulatory compliance is crucial here because it helps us achieve sustainability and reduce risks along the way. Staying compliant isn't just about following rules. It's about building a resilient, responsible supply chain. Technology plays a vital role as well. It's the key enabler that allows us to modernize our supply chains, making them more efficient, transparent, and adaptable. From digital tools to data analytics, technology helps us stay ahead in a competitive landscape. Moving into best practices, Diversification of suppliers is essential. Relying on multiple sources reduces vulnerability and keeps the supply chain flexible. Digital transformation is another critical aspect, leveraging new technologies to streamline operations and improve decision-making. Regular compliance audits are necessary to ensure we're adhering to regulations and maintaining high standards. And of course, building sustainable supply chains isn't just good for the environment. It's also good for business, helping us meet customer expectations and strengthen our brand. All these elements, regulatory compliance, technology, and best practices, tie back to the overall theme of creating resilient, responsible, and efficient supply chains for the future. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help you with any questions or additional information you might need. Feel free to contact us at any time. And with that, I want to sincerely thank you all for your time and attention today. Your engagement is what makes these discussions meaningful, and I hope you found the presentation valuable. Remember, we're committed to supporting you beyond just this session, so don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you again, and have a great day.